just finished my TEDx talk. This video is for you if you want more tips and tricks for moving forward in the face of major disappointment. Okay. So I'm here in Wartburg, Iowa, and it's just been fascinating, this journey of saying yes to a TEDx talk. So the challenges started, months ago when I first accepted this thing. First of all, the timing of this thing was a week after my live event, my biggest live event of my career. We had 550 women registered for this live event. And the TEDx talk is exactly a week later. And I'm flying to Iowa right now to do the TEDx talk. And so it's just a lot. It's a lot at once. I'm tired. I'll be honest. I'm tired. I'm stretching into my capacity. The second thing that came up is when I called my dad to let him know that I landed this TEDx talk. I was so excited because this talk is taking place an hour and 15 minutes from my hometown. That's why I accepted the talk. I got invited to speak in my hometown of Iowa, and I didn't want to speak in Iowa. I was going to speak in California on the West Coast, where all my team and my clients could come and celebrate me. And when I really sat with it, and when I talked to my coach about it, my coach was like, look, get off your ego horse. You're a girl from Iowa who used to make $28,000 a year as a school teacher, who moved to California and changed your name to Sage and started this women's movement, and now you're running a multi-million-dollar company. You need to go back to Iowa to tell the story. And I heard the truth in that, right? The humility in that. And so, right, look for places where you might not be being humble, because entitlement is not going to get us anywhere. So now, fast forward, I'm calling my dad to let him know that I landed this TEDx talk, and this might be the only time that he hears me speak, in this life. And his response to me is, well, can't I just watch it on YouTube? Ugh, like a knife in the heart. Thank you, Dad. And I breathed through that. I breathed through that test, and I explained to him why I thought it would be important that he come. And at the end of the day, it took a couple conversations, but he did end up coming. He was nervous about the drive, because it's a long drive for him in winter, and understandably so. I totally understand that, but it just brought up my stuff. And then I walk into the space where the TEDx talk is meant to be happening, and it just didn't turn out to be a proper stage. I was just in the corner. It's in the corner of an all-purpose room, and all the footage I had seen from last year's event was on a proper stage. So I just, again, was faced with this feeling of, oh my gosh, I cleared my schedule. I have had no free time because, you have to memorize a TEDx talk. So I've been practicing this thing, during all of my days off post-event. I've been practicing this thing 4 or 5 times a day and stretching myself. And now I'm here, and, the stage that it looked like I was going to be on isn't here. And I'm in the corner of a all-purpose room, and the technology wasn't set up the way that I thought it would be. And I couldn't read the confidence monitor the way it was. And it was just it literally just felt like, and I know that some of this sounds like first world problems, but trust me, I'm taking you with me on this journey for a reason. It just felt during this particular project that a lot of things were stacked against me. So turns out my mom and stepdad came with my bonus sister and her son and her husband. Several of my clients drove in. One of my clients drove from Chicago. I'm gonna get teary as I start to talk about this. My dad came and my brother came, and I'll flash up pictures of them as I'm telling you about this. My dad came backstage afterward and looked me in the eyes and just said, I'm so proud of you. He just saw it. And there was something that happened during my TEDx talk that had the girl from Iowa who went to high school, got beat up by mean girls, locked in lockers, painfully excluded from the club, used to lay awake in my bed crying my eyes out because I didn't feel like I had any friends. Parents were getting a divorce, right? That girl from Iowa, and sage, the adult, the speaker, the CEO, the woman who's leading over 100,000 women around the world right now. It was like those two parts of my being merged for the first time. And something happened today in this TEDx talk that has me so freaking grateful that I didn't pull back. And the thing that I kept thinking about all the way through is you. Like, I kept thinking about, well, I feel like the walls are closing in on me. I feel like I'm gonna hyperventilate. I feel like I don't want to show up for this. I feel like I want to dig a hole in the ground and put myself in the hole and have somebody cover me up with dirt so that I don't have to do this talk in the corner of the corner of this room right now for my family of origin. So I'm gonna take you back scenes so that you can see me and my moment and how nervous I was to do the talk for my family of origin. And I invite you, when you have these kinds of stacked up disappointments and stacked up challenges, to remember that some of the gold of this journey is just seeing where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna take you back scenes and then I'm gonna patch you back in here, and I wanna really speak into how we pick ourselves up by the bootstraps and put on our big girl panties and our big girl pants in the face of challenges and setbacks. So I'll take you back scenes. Hey you guys, I'm about ready to practice my TEDx talk. I'm here at Wartburg College. I'm like an hour and 15 minutes from where I grew up. I'm super nervous, and I think I'm nervous because I'm doing this talk for my family of origin. Like, my mom, my dad, my brother are gonna be in the audience. I've never actually spoken with my like core family of origin in the audience. So I just wanna speak a word for any of you who, right? Like, oftentimes it's easier to get up in front of strangers. Anyway, thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm gonna go rock it, even though I'm nervous. So you can see I was freaking out. And you know, the truth is that my TEDx talk is potentially gonna turn out awesome. And the story that I tell during my TEDx talk is a stand for women everywhere. Women who are making 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. Women who are starting businesses 1.5 times faster than men, but aren't succeeding as quickly as men are. You know, when it's stacked against you, when you're walking through all of that high pressured, frustrating, confusing stuff, I'm here to tell you, like, that's part of the journey. Like, part of the journey of being a wildly successful entrepreneur is growing yourself, expanding yourself, challenging every single story that says, I need to pull back here, I need to stop here. What if this is a sign that I'm not cut out for this? What if this is a sign that I'm not meant to be doing this? Trust me, it's not. It's not a sign that you're not cut out for it, and it's not a sign that you're not meant to be doing it. In fact, if we commit to walking toward the resistance, expanding our hearts in the face of it, I believe that's where miracles happen. Your clients show up. Your business grows and expands and scales in all of the ways that you want it to. And so, in honor of my dad, who I had a chance to bond with after my talk, and my brother, who ran backstage to give me a pep talk before I went on stage. Like my brother was giving me the best pep talk ever. He's never done that before. And in honor of the integration that we all have the opportunity to experience after we walk through something that feels like sludge, it feels freaking hard, like pressure, like, ew, I don't want to do this. Like, why did I fly all the way back here to, right? Like, in the face of all of those voices, can you remember who you really have been called to be and what your clients need from you, right? Because when I got out of my own head and said, you know what? I'm not trusting this microphone. I'm not trusting the stage. I'm not trusting myself in this moment because I'm afraid to do this in the face of people who have known me since I was 0 years old, right? In the face of all of that, can I actually make this moment about serving the women who will benefit from this talk, where I put a stake in the ground for sustainable, joyful, expansive entrepreneurship that becomes the greatest part of our spiritual path. So What are you putting a stake in the ground for on behalf of your ideal clients? Like, what is your stake? And that is what I'm standing for alongside you. All right, I love you. I'm gonna arrange for a private showing when the TEDx talk comes out so that we can watch it together and I can actually debrief with you guys like what we're doing to push it out into the world. Because that's it's one thing to go do something like write a book or do a TEDx talk, but then it's a whole nother thing to actually put a plan in place to market your talk, to distribute your talk, to get your talk right, like in front of your ideal client. So I'm gonna do a debrief with you guys on all that stuff, and we'll do a private showing, and I'll let you guys know when that is. But just thank you for being alongside me on this journey of supporting women to claim what they're worth, build their dream business, and really rock this life. Your clients are waiting for you. Mwah. Thank you.